Hi everybody, it's Nikki Chanel here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be continuing our topics about HRT and transition by talking about gender confirming surgeries. Now, I figured it's a good time to talk about this topic because I am getting my top surgery consultation on Monday at 10 a.m. So I am super excited for that to happen. It has been something that I've been waiting for about 3 months by this point. And so potentially within the next 5 months, I will be getting my chest done. So I am beyond excited for that. It's going to be an amazing day, but I figured it's a good time to talk about this. And we're going to be also talking about the consultation on Monday after I get it done while it's still fresh in my mind. So everyone is going to get the best amount of information possible about this. So if you've ever wondered what gender confirming surgeries are, or if you are a trans individual looking into it, this is going to be the video for you, okay? Now also this video is not intended to be a surgical list of every single process. I will be mostly talking about myself and what my current situation is. And I'm also not a surgeon, so I do not know a lot of the surgical names for it. I know a couple of them like rhinoplasty, but that's about it, okay? This is also going to be for trans women related. Now, with all that stuff out of the way, please like and subscribe. It helps us grow. Keep the comments section respectful and put those comments down there and I will endeavor to answer every single one of them, okay? Now, without further ado, let us begin. Okay, now in talking about what gender confirming surgeries are, they are basically a set of surgeries that assist us with the gender dysphoria process, just the same as HRT. They are surgeries designed to modify certain aspects of your body to look either feminine or male, depending on which one you are, either a trans woman or a trans man. Now, the reason we get these surgeries is that HRT doesn't do everything. As you've seen in my effects of HRT video, which is going to be right there, HRT does a lot, but it doesn't change bone structure. Bone structure is going to be the thing that a lot of these cosmetic surgeries change, as well as enhancements in certain areas such as the chest. Gender confirming surgeries in some areas are covered by insurance. I'm from the United States, however, and so my job covers gender confirming care. That's half the reason I stay there, and that's one of the main reasons I'm still working at that job, even though it doesn't make me all the stuff that it wants to. Now, if you're in other countries, such as the United Kingdom, I have heard that that care does not exist, and so I'm sorry about that, but I don't know what to do in that situation. But I'm going to be talking mostly from a US perspective, okay? Now, my current insurance, I'm going to read off verbatim the list of things that they require for something to be considered reconstructive, not cosmetic, because a lot of these surgeries are cosmetic in nature, but due to gender affirming care and our gender dysphoria and all of these other factors, they can be considered reconstructive, which is covered by insurance. Now, it's also within reason. So like my chest, for example, if the doctor was going to put in, say 1000 cc breasts, that's the maximum size available in the US. Yeah, they won't cover that, but like actual size that is respectful to your body, that is also within that margin, that is covered, okay? Now, I'm going to read this verbatim from my laptop, okay? The individual is at least 18 years of age, and the individual has capacity to make fully informed decisions and consent for treatment, and the individual has been diagnosed with gender dysphoria, and if the individual has significant medical or mental health issues present, they must be reasonably well controlled if the individual is diagnosed with severe psychiatric disorders and impaired reality testing, for example, psychotic episodes, bipolar disorder, dissociative identity disorder, borderline personality disorder. An effort must be made to improve these conditions with psychotropic medications and/or psychotherapy before surgery is contemplated, and for gender-affirming breast augmentation procedures only, for individuals without a medical contraindication or intolerance, the individual has undergone a minimum of 12 months of continuous hormonal therapy when recommended by a mental health professional and provided under the supervision of a physician, and insufficient breast development has occurred. And existing chest appearance demonstrates significant variation from normal appearance for the experienced gender. Note, each procedure requested should be considered separately, as some procedures may be cosmetics and others may be reconstructive. And one letter signed by the referring qualified mental health professional who has independently assessed the individual is required. The letter must have been signed within 12 months of the request submission. Now, that obviously is a lot, and I will link that down into the bottom of the description of this video because that is my insurance. Now, every single insurance has similar but slightly different ways that they consider reconstructive. And so if you know that your insurance does cover gender affirming care, I would read into every single one of those things. I happen to hit every single one of those check boxes, and I have also been in conjunction with my doctor as well as my work's HR, so it will be covered by it, okay? Now, let us move into why we get GCS and some of the surgeries that I will be getting. Okay, now why do we undergo GCS or gender confirming surgeries? To be honest with you, HRT does not do everything. And with me is that for me personally, this is the opinion based, I feel that HRT has done a lot, but I want the little tweaks and enhancements of that HRT doesn't give me, such as reshaping my jawline or enhancing my chest a little bit. Because for me, most women have fuller chests. I know there are a lot of flat-chested women, but to me, to be true to myself, which is the reason we undergo these surgeries, I would want a full chest and I want my face just slightly redone to resemble more of a feminine facial structure. Now, there's a lot of surgeries that are covered by it. Facial feminization surgery, or FFS, is an umbrella term used to cover a lot of facial surgeries, such as rhinoplasty, barioplasty, eyebrow bone reduction, jawline reduction, lip lift. It's all within the FFS umbrella. With me personally, well, that really depends on the doctor and what the doctor recommends to understand the best form of FFS, because an FFS surgeon, such as Dr. Topi Mayer or Dr. Harrison Lee, there's a lot more than that, just those are the two main ones. They are artists with the face, and I've seen some really amazing facial transformations thanks to them. And so really, your doctor is the one that would recommend a lot of these things. So with me is that I can generally give you an idea of the size of implant that I want for my chest. However, the doctor, after seeing what development I have, how my body structure is, what my band size is, what my weight is, and all these other factors involved, will determine the best size for it. Now, they do this all the time. They are masters of being plastic surgeons. They will give you the best recommendations. And also those recommendations will change over time. Me, I personally waited 2.5 years for HRT to kick into its maximum effect until I started contemplating gender confirming surgeries. I wanted to see what HRT does, because HRT did a lot for me. It changed my facial structure. It started giving me a chest. It redistributed fat. It did a lot of things, but there's certain things HRT does not cover and does not change. My bone structure, my jawline, this kind of sharpest jaw I have in the background, that's one thing HRT did not change. My facial nose, my side profile, to me is very masculine. And so for me, I want to change that, and so thus I will go under gender affirming care. My chest, I do not have much of a chest development, to be honest with you. This is an extremely padded push-up bra. That's the only reason I have a chest right now. If not, you could barely see it on this top. So chest augmentation to me was one of the first things that I wanted to get done, and that is, like, even if I never get facial feminization surgery, no, the chest was what I wanted. That was the main thing I wanted to get done from day one. And so there are the risks involved, such as I know that I'm gonna be bedridden for at least 10 days after I get the chest done. For the face healing, that healing process is like weeks and weeks and weeks. And then like the chest will not fully settle until about 6 months in when they drop. And so there's a lot of factors involved in this. And so you have to be aware of these risks before you go into it. Me, I am mentally able to take these considerations into effect and to undergo the risks involved. And that is why I'm getting these done, because with me, I want to be true to myself and I understand the risk, and that's why I'm doing it, okay? Now, let us continue. Okay, now how to get started doing gender confirming surgeries is, I would say you need two things first. You would need, obviously, the insurance that covers it, and you would also need your HR and your doctor's approval to do this. Me and my doctors, I've been seeing my doctor for 2.5 years. I have a wonderful relationship with him. And so when I sent him the option like, hey, I want to start pursuing this, he's like, okay, no worries. Let me know what you need and I'll send it right away. Done. Same thing with my HR. I've worked my job for 3.5 years. They know me, they know all about me. They know that I'm transgender. I've talked to them many times about this. And so when it comes down to it, I had all the pieces in place to get started on this, okay? And then my HR also gave me the resources that my company has for transgender related care and to get started on GCS. That's how I found where my information regarding gender confirming surgeries was. And then next thing was to find a surgeon, because some companies give you the surgeons, some companies work with specific surgeons. My company is across the world, so you basically just have to find some in your local area that also accept your surgery insurance as well. With me, I happen to find mine through kind of a combination of factors, a lot of Google research, a lot of research. I originally thought I was gonna have to go out of state, and for the face, I will have to go out of state for that one. But for the chest consultation, there is a surgeon here in Idaho that does it. And I'm gonna be talking a little bit more about this on Monday when I do the actual consultation video. So a lot of this I'm gonna cover in that video, but basically I had a friend of mine at my work who's a transgender male, female to male. They had their gender confirming surgery where they had their chest reduced to become a male chest. They had their top surgery and they did it with the surgeon that I'm gonna go talk to on Monday. So that's how I kind of got knowing that there were surgeons in Idaho that do this. Then it was reaching out to all these different clinics, seeing who accepts insurance, see who does transgender augmentation. Then finally I called this one hospital, like an actual like full-size city hospital. And they said, yeah, we do have that. So then through a series of phone calls and conversations, I got connected with the surgeon's office and they said, okay, so we're gonna give you a consultation date for this day. I told my doctor, they sent over all my recommended files, medical history, medical recommendations, every single thing that they could do. I got a call back, okay, your consultation is set for August 21st at 10 a.m., done. And that's how it was. And then I also told my HR lady, told her, she's like, oh, that's awesome. And so just come talk to me after you're done and we're gonna get the process rolling from there. So there was a lot of steps involved in finding this surgeon. Some were faster, some were slower. If you are going to more of a clinic that specializes in plastic surgery, that's not also a mainline hospital, sometimes it'll get the ball rolling a little bit faster. Sometimes you're on the surgeon's schedule. So really it depends on what surgeon you go to. So do all your research, hammer down on the internet. The internet is the resource there for all this stuff. Everything I've learned through this process has been from Google and just from word of mouth sources. So do your research. I'll link any descriptions in the bottom below. There's a couple of websites I used for this and I'll link all that stuff in there. But do your research and you will be able to find the results that you were looking for. And now I'm in the middle of this process and I'm so excited for this. Like, I am so excited. But let us go into the closing before I have a fangirl moment. Okay, and as you've been seeing through this video, there's a lot involved in gender confirming surgeries. It's not just so call up a surgeon and you're on your knife the next day. No, there's a lot of factors involved, the insurance factors, there's many, many, many steps. And sometimes it seems overwhelming. Like at the beginning of this, I was like, okay, like how do I get started on this? And I really wanted to know a lot of questions, but luckily for me, I had a lot of trans girls through my Instagram and through YouTube and through all these other mediums that I follow or I talk to one-on-one, and they told me how they got started on that. It was actually through one of my Instagram friends that at the Victoria Vixen, she told me that her chest was covered by insurance. I'm like, wait, what? That's covered? I didn't even know that. And so then I learned my job has it. And I'm like, oh, wow, like I'm not quitting my job now. And you start learning things after just talking to people and the research. And once all these factors get in place, you end up right now. And so like my consultation is one factor in about 10 different steps to get to this point. And so then once the consultation comes in, it's set the surgery date, get the insurance done, get the insurance LOA for my job, leave of absence, so I can go out without being fired and still have pay during that time frame. It's about, you know, getting all of these factors in place. Then it's about finding who's gonna take me to the surgeon. Then it's finding like, you know, the money and then finding all these other things. And There's a lot involved in this. So if you do go under gender confirming surgeries and you do want to pursue these, like a lot of the trans girls I talk to do want to go under, you have to do your research and you have to understand what's involved in this process before you get started, okay? Now, sorry for that video. I kind of rambled at a couple of points because there's a lot to talk about in this situation. So please hit the like and subscribe button. Please put down any comments. I will endeavor to answer as many as I can or give you the affiliate links to websites that can help you with understanding of this whole situation, okay? Now, this has been Nikki Chanel. I hope you all have a wonderful day.